Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks. With the Spain News Update, we'll take a look at some of the main stories that have caught my attention in the Spanish press, and we'll also take a look at some comments that have been left on the channel in recent times by viewers. Before I begin, a huge thanks to all of the people that have supported the channel in recent times, whether it's by buying me a coffee, whether it's through the Super Thanks option on YouTube, longer term supporters on Patreon, and also the channel members of this YouTube channel. Thank you very much for that support. Now, straight into the news. And Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez on the road again. A couple of weeks ago, he was in China, and this week he's off to New York. And as we can read here, Pedro Sanchez, the call for UN involvement in the fight against fake news and strengthening democracies. The Prime Minister of Spain, Pedro Sanchez, is traveling to New York to participate in the UN General Assembly. His agenda includes meetings on Monday with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz and the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres. Around 20 heads of state or government from all continents are expected to attend, where they will discuss how to strengthen democracies and combat extremism. Government sources indicate that the debate must include an analysis of issues such as misinformation, fake news, and the transparency of democracies. Sanchez will address the UN General Assembly on Wednesday. This will be his first speech since Spain officially recognized Palestine as a state. However, this Tuesday, he will outline ways to confront extremism and the need to tackle disinformation at a forum he has organized together with the president of Brazil, Lula da Silva. So there we go, Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez off to New York to visit the United Nations and to campaign against fake news. According to Mr. Sanchez, fake news has become a problem here in Spain over the last 5 or 6 years, and he wants to put an end to it. Good luck with that. So not sure what plan these leaders are going to come up with, but it's going to be interesting, because as we know, your fake news might not be someone else's fake news, so who's going to be the judge? And when you get some leaders of fairly important countries say that everything is fake news, who do we believe? Second piece of news now, and another group of migrants have been denied asylum in Madrid, and they've started a hunger strike. As we can read here, nearly 30 Sahrawis begin hunger strike at Barajas Airport after Interior Ministry denies them asylum. Nearly 30 Sahrawis have spent their first night on hunger strike at Adolfo Suarez Madrid Barajas Airport, where some have been detained for several weeks as a protest against the Ministry of Interior's denial of the political asylum they had requested. In an interview with RNE, Fatma El Ghalia, the group's lawyer, stated that her clients claim and prove that they are persecuted Sahrawi activists. Some have been imprisoned and tortured. We are dealing with proven facts to request international protection, as they are in danger if they return to their country, she asserted. The hunger strike is supported by 29 activists from the more than 30 people currently at Barajas, all of whom are men, spread between Terminals 1 and 4. They are calling on the Spanish government to fulfill its duty to grant them political asylum and to release them. So the hunger strike has begun for this group of migrants as a result of their asylum claim being denied by the Spanish government. And I'm not sure if these are the same group of people that started a riot at the same airport around 3 weeks ago. So we'll see how this one plays out and whether the Spanish government changes its mind on these requests. Third piece of news now, and the naval base in the town of Rota in the south of Spain making headlines today, because as we can read here, 600 more Marines and a new destroyer to strengthen the missile defense shield at the Rota base. Yankees come home. Teenagers in Rota, Cadiz were already snacking on peanut butter in English, in the 1970s and 80s, half a century before peanut butter became a staple in the diets of young people who frequent gyms across Spain today. The deployment of American military personnel in the 1950s brought a true social, cultural, and economic revolution to this town in Cadiz. Even today, those years are still viewed with fascination, although the cultural shock gradually faded with Spain's economic growth, tourism, and globalization at the turn of the century. Currently, the military base, shared between Spain and the US, is like a massive industrial complex for Rota, where 10,000 people work daily, contributing nearly 60% 10% of the town's GDP. Its impact on the economy of the Bay of Cadiz, approximately 600 million euros annually, is undeniable. This context explains why the imminent expansion of the American detachment at Rota, with 600 additional military personnel arriving in the coming months, is seen more as an opportunity than a problem or invasion. So there we go, the joint naval base down there in the south of Spain, expecting more US arrivals in coming months. And to be honest, I had no idea that peanut butter was popular among Spanish youth. I wonder if they prefer smooth or crunchy peanut butter. That's the question. Because I'm a crunchy peanut butter guy myself, not that I eat it much nowadays. What about you? And the final piece of news today, and a strange story in my opinion, and it is that 5 people have been arrested for a fake Brad Pitt scam worth 325,000 euros. The civil guard has arrested 5 people and investigated another 10 linked to an organisation that scammed 325,000 euros from 2 women by making them believe that they were starting a relationship with Brad Pitt. As part of the operation, authorities have managed to freeze 85,000 euros. According to the civil guard, Operation Bralina, conducted in the provinces of Granada, Almeria, Malaga, Vizcaya, Barcelona, Madrid, Huelva and Seville, targeted this criminal group and led to the arrest of its 2 ringleaders. During the investigation, agents were able to locate, freeze and recover 85,000 euros of the total amount defrauded from the 2 victims. My love for you is true. Feeling from my heart and forever, please forgive me and accept me. It is because I love you and I'm very much in love with you, reads one of the handwritten letters that was seized. So the fake Brad Pitt impersonators or scammers arrested after getting some 325,000 euros from their victims. And I don't know whether to feel sorry for the victims of this scam or to laugh at them for being so stupid. But then again, I suppose if you get a letter thinking it's from Brad Pitt, you'll do anything. Am I right, ladies, or am I wrong? Now let's have a look at some comments that have been left on the channel recently. One here from Toro Verde. Geez, Stu, I'm absolutely shocked at your unemployment rate. In the US, we are at 4.2% unemployment rate, which is fantastic for our economy. In California, fuel is $4.19 a gallon, and that's a national high because we pay road taxes in our fuel prices. Stocks are high and interest rates just dropped recently. We have come a long way since 2020. All we have to do now is make it through the upcoming presidential election. Yeah, Toro Verde, thanks for the comment, and you're right. All you have to do now is get through that upcoming presidential election, which is going to be a big one by all reports. And as I mentioned in yesterday's live stream, Spain's unemployment rate is a bit of an enigma, and nobody seems to have an answer as to why it's a lot higher than many other EU nations. There's lots of different theories, but no politician here in Spain over the last 40 years or so has managed to get it below 8 or 9%. And I think when it did get down to that figure of 8 or 9%, the economy bubble burst back in 2008-2009, and unemployment shot up to around 25%. Millions of people had to leave the country in search of employment, and now we're currently sitting at around 11.6%. So if anybody out there has a theory as to why Spain's unemployment rate is a lot higher than other countries in the European Union, let us know in the comment section below. One here from Kazam. In central London, you will pay nearly £9 for a pint. 2 to 3 euros sounds amazingly cheap. Yeah, Kazam, thanks for the comment, but just let me write that one down. Never order a pint in central London, because wow, that is expensive, and I thought Perth prices were over the top. And of course, if you compare that price with what we pay here for a pint of beer, we shouldn't be complaining. One here from One Wheel. I have watched the dog squat and piss on the hallway carpet, and then the owner just continues to the elevator. Yeah, One Wheel, thanks for the comment, and this related to a news article that we saw in yesterday's live stream about how pets are more accepted in many hotels here in Spain nowadays. And I said that this is a good thing, especially if you are a pet owner like myself. However, as we saw in that comment, not all pet owners are responsible, and some people shouldn't be allowed to take their dogs, if they're not trained, to hotels. And I reckon you're lucky because you saw a dog doing number ones in the hotel. When I went to Alicante earlier in the year, saw a dog do number twos in the hotel reception area. And did the owner of the dog pick it up or tell the receptionist what had just happened? No! He got into the lift with his dog, went up to his room, and left the mess for somebody else to clean up. Want to hear from Dude Stewart. Where do these people go if they're going to be kicked out of their homes? Yeah, dude, thanks for the comment, and also related to something that we saw in yesterday's live stream about home evictions here in Spain, people that are evicted from their homes because they can't keep up with their mortgage repayments. And Catalonia and Andalusia here in Spain, the two worst areas for this type of eviction. And to be honest, I have no idea where people go, what accommodation arrangements they come up with when the bank repossesses their homes. I imagine that most people have had time to look for alternative accommodation arrangements, but I'm not sure. And I imagine that many people would end up moving back in with their parents or another family member should this happen. And it's always a shame, in my opinion, when people end up in this situation of the bank foreclosing on their loan. One here from Recipe Review. Construction is booming, new estates springing up all over. I think we're heading for a new 2008 bust. I give it 2 years, so my prediction, 2026. Yeah, Recipe Review, thanks for the comment. And I'll just write that one down as well. Housing bust in 2026. Not sure exactly if that is going to be the case or not. I'm not seeing mass construction like I saw back in 2005, 6, 7, and 8 before that last bubble burst. And you would think that people and governments have learnt their lesson since that last crash. So hopefully your prediction is wrong, because I personally wouldn't want to go through something like that again here in Spain. But in the times that we are living, you never know. And the final comment here from the Panama Hat. Always look forward to your videos, especially the comments of visitors who won't be coming back for one reason or another, like they'll actually be missed. Yeah, the Panama Hat, thanks for the comment, and we have had many comments over the last 6 months or so of people saying that they're never coming back to Spain. We saw one person yesterday saying that they have been coming to Spain for 50 years, going to Mallorca and Menorca, I think they mentioned, and said that they have had enough and are not coming back. And the reason they gave was that they have the perception that the Spanish don't want British tourists coming here anymore. What an absolute crock of... And what I'll say to this person is, get off your high horse and stop thinking that your decision not to come back to the country will have an impact in any way, shape or form on the Spanish economy and the Spanish tourism industry. On that note, I'm going to wrap the video up. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. If you have anything to add to the conversation today, the comment section is the place for you. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego.